Hi, everyone, thank you for joining me today. Let's talk about something deeply personal but incredibly important, sexual pleasure and why some women may struggle to feel much during sex. This topic is often surrounded by stigma or misunderstanding, and I'm here to offer clarity, compassion, and practical insights. Whether you're experiencing this yourself or you're just curious to understand it better, this conversation is for you. From my experience working with women, I've found that many of the challenges aren't rooted in physical issues. Instead, they stem from emotional, mental, and societal factors. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 main reasons why women may feel numb or disconnected during sex and, more importantly, how these issues can be addressed. Reason 1: Disconnection from emotions and trauma. The first and most common reason is emotional or psychological disconnection. Often, women subconsciously distance themselves from their physical sensations. This disconnection can stem from trauma. Now, when we think of trauma, we often jump to the obvious, like abuse or assault. But trauma can also be subtle, like growing up in a culture that views sex as shameful or wrong. For example, a woman raised in an environment that labels sex as dirty might want to enjoy intimacy but feels an underlying sense of guilt or discomfort when she does. Similarly, relationship dynamics can also lead to emotional disconnection. For instance, many women share that they've engaged in sex not because they wanted to, but to appease a partner. Over time, this can create a pattern of just getting through the experience, rather than embracing it. Here's the good news: this isn't permanent. Trauma can be healed. And in many cases, truly loving, connected sexual experiences can help mend these emotional wounds. Reason 2: Mental noise and anxiety. The second reason is mental noise, those intrusive thoughts, worries, and anxieties that hijack your nervous system. Imagine you're in the middle of an intimate moment, but instead of feeling present, your mind is racing. Am I doing this right? Should I feel something more? What does my partner think? These anxieties create a static in your nervous system, making it hard for your body to fully engage. External stressors, like work pressures or life challenges, can add to this noise. The result? Your nervous system becomes too overwhelmed to notice or appreciate physical sensations. The solution here is to practice a different approach to sex, one that prioritizes relaxation and connection over performance. Learning to quiet the mind and truly listen to your body is a skill. It takes practice, but the reward is a richer, deeper connection to yourself and your partner. Reason 3: Unrealistic expectations. Another sneaky culprit is the role of unrealistic expectations. Sometimes, when women say, "I don't feel much," it doesn't mean they're not feeling anything at all. It often means they're not feeling what they expected to feel, at the intensity they imagined, or within the time frame they anticipated. We all have an internally interpreter that evaluates our experiences. If what you're feeling doesn't match this interpreter's criteria, it's easy to dismiss it as not good enough. Unfortunately, this self-criticism can block the natural progression of pleasure. Instead of focusing on what's missing, try practicing gratitude for the sensations you are experiencing. By appreciating what's there, you create the mental space for those feelings to grow. Remember, sexual energy is fluid and diverse. Not every experience will look or feel the same, and that's okay. Reason 4: Desensitization. Now let's talk about desensitization. This happens when the body becomes accustomed to intense or repetitive stimulation and starts to lose sensitivity to more subtle sensations. For example, some women may rely on vibrators or other strong stimuli, which can create a threshold that's harder to surpass during regular sexual activity. Here's the thing: your body is adaptable. It can grow more sensitive or less sensitive based on how you treat it. If you're constantly chasing the most intense sensations, it's like training your body to need a higher and higher baseline for arousal. Over time, this can leave you feeling numb to anything less. But there's hope. Desensitization is reversible. By focusing on gentle, mindful touch and rediscovering your body's natural rhythms, you can resensitize yourself. Your nervous system to appreciate subtler, more nuanced sensations. This process isn't about avoiding intense pleasure altogether, it's about broadening your range of experiences so that you can enjoy everything from the gentle to the powerful. And let's be honest, true satisfaction often comes from the combination of sensation and sensitivity, not just intensity alone. Reason 5: Poor technique. Finally, let's address an issue that many people overlook: poor technique. It might sound harsh, but a lot of what's considered normal in sexual technique isn't actually designed to align with how women's bodies work. The problem is cultural. Much of what's taught or normalized about sex in mainstream media misunderstands female sexuality. Women often assume that if they're not enjoying sex, something must be wrong with them. But in reality, it could be the technique that's not suited to their needs. For example, imagine someone lightly tapping your arm and expecting it to feel amazing. No matter how present or relaxed you are, that input just isn't going to create the pleasure they're hoping for. Now, replace that scenario with sexual technique, it's the same idea. If the movements are mechanical, lack emotional connection, or don't match the pace and rhythm your body craves, it's no wonder you might feel disengaged. The solution is twofold. First, communicate with your partner about what works and what doesn't. Second, take the time to explore what truly feels good for you. This might involve experimenting with different types of touch, pressure, and pacing. There's no one-size-fits-all approach, and discovering what resonates with you is part of the journey. Conclusion: you are not broken. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this discussion, it's this: you are not broken. Struggling to feel pleasure in sex doesn't mean there's something inherently wrong with your body. More often than not, it's about mental, emotional, and relational dynamics that can be shifted and improved. By addressing these 5 factors: disconnection, mental noise, unrealistic expectations, desensitization, and poor technique, you can unlock a deeper connection to your sexual energy. It's about learning to listen to your body, cultivating gratitude for what you feel, and building a more fulfilling relationship with yourself and your partner. This is a process. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to explore. But the results can be life-changing. I've seen women go from feeling completely numb to experiencing rich, vibrant sexual energy they never thought possible. So, don't give up on yourself. With the right mindset, tools, and techniques, you can transform your relationship with pleasure. You deserve to feel deeply, fully, and beautifully alive in your body. Thank you for joining me in this conversation today. If this resonated with you, or if you have any questions or thoughts, please share them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, you are more powerful and capable than you realize.